From the Oak Wall Studios in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Hello, this is Jesse Oakley III, and welcome to the Oak Zone. Today is Sunday morning, and it's time for the Sunday Morning Chat Series. Here, I get to interview a plethora of positive people that are making a big difference in their community. And today, we have ourselves a fantastic show for you. Now, there's something type of phrase going on called garbage in and garbage out, and not too many people understand the full concept of it. But luckily, I have a guest here that's going to explain the concept of garbage in, garbage out, and how it's relevant and how it can be helpful for happy people like you and me. So please help me welcome none other than the man himself, Mr. John Bernstein. Hey, John, how's it going?
Hey, Jesse, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
Thank you for having me on your show.
And thank you for being here on the show. We really appreciate it. And without any further delay, let's chat. All right, now the main question I want to ask you is, what is garbage in, garbage out?
That is a great question to start. Garbage in, garbage out is a known expression. At least I think it's known. And it is an expression that I use, and it's recent for me to really explore this expression, which for me is a perspective and a practice. Okay, it's both. And it's really about life. And it says that whatever you put into yourself, you get out of yourself. Whatever you put into your mouth, food, you're going to see the benefits or the detriments. Whatever you put into your mind, whatever you put into your emotion, whatever you put in spiritually, you're going to see that return to you in your experience in life. And there's a one-to-one relationship, and I'm talking through experience. Okay. This is not from a book I read or, anything like that. This is something that I practice. I have had experiences where I've eaten incorrectly, or I've had negative thoughts, or I've had, difficult emotions or spiritual connections that were of not the highest. And so I asked myself, how can I better myself? And the answer was, what are you putting into your body? What are you putting into your mind? What are you putting in? What are you putting into your emotions? What are you putting in spiritually? Because everything I found, this is what I discovered, everything that you consume, a TV program, a book, a magazine, another person, manifests in your experience in some way. Right?
Exactly.
And so I'm saying to people, be mindful of that. Be mindful of what you're putting in to your body, to your mind, to your heart, and to your soul. Be mindful, because you'll have a better experience.
Oh, definitely, definitely. Now, when it comes to this garbage in, garbage out thought process, you answered this a little bit before, but how can one really benefit from garbage in, garbage out?
The benefits are incredible. And again, I don't want to overemphasize this, but I'm talking from experience. And really what it does is it helps one become more aware and more conscious of what they're putting into their mouth, what they're putting into their body, what they're putting into their mind, their soul, their spirit, their emotions. We become, the biggest benefit is awareness and saying that I want to do something deliberately. So I'm going to take the deliberate action, right? And the results of both the conscious and unconscious behaviors we have are changed. So we have a conscious effort to do a thing. Okay, so now what am I going to put in my mouth? I'm going to be conscious of it. I'm not just going to unconsciously eat, because I know that when I unconsciously eat, I'm putting things into my body that basically I don't know what I'm putting into my body. So I want to know what I'm putting in there. I want to know the emotions I'm putting into myself. I want to know, like, I have basically it's a what I call mastery of the self. I'm mastering my physical, I'm mastering my emotional, my mental, and my spiritual. I'm mastering it. I have domain over myself.
Yes.
That's the biggest benefit. Domain over oneself.
All right. Fantastic. Now, what are some of the challenges one can face with garbage in, garbage out?
Well, that's a fantastic question and an important question. Since we are dealing with ourselves, we live in ourselves. We are ourselves, right? So we're dealing with us. We're dealing with ourselves, with our habits, our moods, all of that, right? So the challenges are that this perspective and practice, it takes perseverance. It takes dedication. It takes willpower and discipline, right?
Yes.
And these types of aspects with humans, and of course I'm one, right,
Yep.
are not easy. It's not always easy to be dedicated to, mastering ourselves. In other words, like, we may have negative thoughts about a person, and we have them over and over again. They keep going on in our mind. And what I'm saying is, have control over that, have domain over that. Don't live in a negative sphere within your mind, right? So it's like, we in this type of perspective and practice, we take 2 steps forward, and sometimes we take a step back. That's the challenge.
Yep.
Because this is something that you have to be vigilant about, right? In other words, you can't say, okay, today I'm just going to eat carrots, and then tomorrow I'm going to eat chocolate cake, and I'll eat chocolate cake every day, right? No, you have to be vigilant, going forward. Like, okay, I can have chocolate cake, but maybe once a month, or maybe every couple of weeks, because chocolate cake, it's really not the best for your body, and you want to upgrade. You don't want to downgrade, right?
Yes.
So the challenge is with yourself. We sometimes, Jesse, we feel defeated, right? Or we feel disappointed when we take a step back. Like, we say, oh, I don't have the willpower to stop myself from eating that, double cheeseburger, right?
Yeah.
We all have that, right? We love that taste, right? But the thing is, we have to develop that willpower. And, I'm the first one to say that's not easy. It is, that's the challenge, Jesse.
Yes.
To face the challenge itself. See what I'm saying?
Yes.
To say, yes, mastering myself is a challenge, but I have the drive and the willpower to do this. To say to myself, yeah, I do like the cheeseburger, but I'm going to limit myself to 1 cheeseburger a week.
Yes.
Not 5 a week or 4. You know what I'm getting at? In other words, the challenge is in the actuality of it, to take the steps, because the steps are not easy.
I tell you, John, 5 cheeseburgers a week, that's a lot of beef, man. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it is a lot of beef.
Yeah.
And it's too much beef, my estimation.
Exactly.
It's not healthy. You know what? There's nothing wrong with eating a piece of meat, but there is something detrimental to the body by eating too much.
Oh, yes. All right. Now, what are some of the best moments one can experience from the concept of garbage in and garbage out?
A better life, a better experience. So if you're putting in garbage like fast foods, junk food, alcohol, you know, uh, whatever, drugs, that isn't going to increase your longevity. That isn't going to amplify your health. Because if you eat fast foods all the time and junk food, right?
Mhm.
Inevitably, that's going to lead to gout, diabetes. It's going to lead to overweight, and all of these things that are detrimental to your health.
Yes.
And health is, to me, the first key of life.
Yes.
The first key, the first health. We want our health, right?
Mhm.
So, I would say that, you know, take a look at your health. How do you feel? Right? How do you feel? Do you feel healthy? Do you feel vibrant? Or are you always getting headaches? Are you always getting stomach aches? Are you always feeling bloated? Are you always getting colds? You catch my drift? In other
Yes.
words, you are your own experiment. You are your own uh, canvas that you're painting on. So you can see through your own symptoms, right?
Right.
Oh, okay, well, I'm really not, eating the best for myself. All right, so then this is what I observe. You don't have to just jump off the cliff and change drastically, change little by little. Like, in other words, if you are so hooked on to fast foods, all right, what I'm saying is you don't have to stop completely cold turkey. Don't have as much, maybe cut it by 50%, right?
Mm.
If you like chocolate cake, instead of 5 a week, have 1 a week, right?
Yes.
Don't have it after every meal. You know what I'm getting at?
Yes, I do.
So uh, when we see the great results from this type of path, this type of perspective, right? This practice, when we see the results, that's when we know, okay, it works. It's not a gimmick. It works. You see what I'm saying? So
Yes.
that's how I would answer that question. That
Oh,
you see the results in a positive way. Like you're no longer putting garbage in, so therefore no garbage is coming out.
that's
That's
true.
it.
That's very true, man.
All right. So if you take a computer and you put a virus in the computer, that's putting garbage in the computer. What's going to happen to that computer? Right? Garbage out, meaning it's gonna destroy it. The same thing with a human, because the human body is like hardware. And the food we eat, the thoughts we put in, the emotions and the spirituality is the software. So you're not going to download a virus into your body. At least I would say probably not, right?
No.
Maybe not knowingly sabotaging your own health, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's the same thing. We are a piece of hardware, and we're going to put in the best software, not a virus.
Now,
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, John, that's truly fantastic. And you just hit on somebody that's probably wants to talk to you about this advice on taking it step by step, because it wasn't built overnight. It wasn't built in a day. It takes a daily process to actually work on the garbage in, garbage out concept. And I really appreciate that. Now, for all the happy people that are out there, how can more people know about garbage in, garbage out? Where can they go?
Where I found this information was in studying myself. Okay. I started to read self-help books. I started to listen to self-help audio programs. I started to watch webinars, that were talking about this. One great place where you can listen to these inspiring webinars about garbage in, garbage out is Sounds True. Have you ever heard of Sounds True? They've got listed there 600 podcasts, right? And you can go on there and look for that subject matter and listen to those podcasts. You can also go online and just Google garbage in, garbage out podcasts or subject matter, garbage in, garbage out. But for me, it was a process. I didn't come to it like, right away. I had to do a lot of listening to other podcasts, to webinars, read books, read articles, have friends talk to me, trusted associates. So there is no one place to say, this is where you go. It's a collective process. It's a collective, it really behooves you yourself, if you're interested in this perspective, right?
Right.
If you're interested in this practice, it's really both. It's a perspective and a practice. Then it behooves you to go out and find more about it. And, there's a lot of it on the World Wide Web. It's out there,
All right. And for those people that missed that, don't worry, the link will be in the description below, that what Mr. Bernstein has referenced to. So after this interview, you can go ahead and check out a few of the example links right there in the description below. Now, John, time flies when you're having a whole lot of fun. And this portion of the meeting is our shout out portion of the meeting. Now, if you can give a shout out to different people about the garbage in, garbage out concept working for you, who would you like to give a shout out to?
When I thought of this question, the first person that came to my mind was my Kabbalistic rabbi, Moshe Omer. I studied with Moshe here in Las Vegas at the Las Vegas Kabbalah Center, right? Okay. This was like in 2000, 2001. I studied with him for a couple of years. And it was a very, very interesting thing. For those who don't know what Kabbalah is the mystical branch of Judaism, right? Just like Sufism is the mystical branch of Islam, right? And Zen is a mystical branch of Buddhism, right? You have Zen Buddhism, the mystical branch of it. So I remember one thing that my rabbi said about life in general and certain things. And he said, who care? Who care? And so I took that to mean that you have to maintain your conviction and you have to not worry about what others are doing and that you have to stay the course. So if you get into this practice, you get into this perspective of garbage in, garbage out, and you find that it works for you, don't worry about anyone else. Yes. Stay the course. Who care? Stay the course. So thank you, Rabbi Moshe Omer.
All right. And the last question I have for you is addressed to my people and my crew, which is affectionately known as the Happy People. They are watching these videos, they get inspired by different guests that I've interviewed, and they're always looking for those great words of wisdom when it comes to different topics that we talk about. Now, if you have a solid final words of wisdom for my people, my crew, the Happy People, what would it be?
something that came to me within the last month. Actually, it's something that came to me a while ago, but it came back to me. And that is seek the beauty way. What does that mean? What is the beauty way? The beauty way is, again, like garbage in, garbage out, a perspective of life and a practice. And what is that? What is the practice of the beauty way and the perspective? The perspective of the beauty way says, see beauty in everything. In everything. See it in yourself, see it in your neighbor, see it in everything, right?
Yes.
And that's the perspective. The practice is bring beauty wherever you go. And so what I would say, and part of this whole garbage in, garbage out, is the process of the beauty way. So in other words, you are on this path of the beauty way, and you're bringing beauty and you're seeing beauty in things. That's putting in a beautiful thing within your beingness, right? Then that's going to come out of you, right? That's going to come out in your experience, right? You see what I'm saying? That's going to come out in you. In if everything to you is beautiful, you're going to experience that, right?
Wow.
And it's, again, it's a, it takes some doing. So it's a practice, and it is a behavior. It is a perspective of life. And to just finish off this question, I've been doing this a long time, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've been like this all my life. And what I realized is that I developed a perspective of life, and that perspective helped me all my life. That perspective that I have of the beauty way and garbage in, garbage out, that helped me tremendously. You know what I'm saying? I have had, and I continue to have, a beautiful life experience. And that's what I want to share with the people who are listening. And I hope that they can gain their own perspective, of this beauty way and of garbage in, garbage out.
Oh, wow. That was truly a fantastic way to end this wonderful interview, as finding the beauty. And on behalf of all the happy people that are watching all over the world, I thank you, John, for taking the time out to be a part of the Oak Zone Sunday Morning Chat Series.
You know what, Jesse? It's my pleasure.
Oh,
it's my pleasure. And thank you again for inviting me. And, let's do it again sometime.
Hey, I'm for that. I'm definitely for that. Now, this concludes this episode of the Oak Zone Sunday Morning Chat Series. If you want more plethora of positivity, go to my YouTube channel, Jesse Oakley III, and click on the Sunday Morning Chat Series link. And there you will get the chance to see past interviews that I've done with positive people that are making a big difference in a community. And you similar to my friend John right here. And this concludes this episode of the Sunday Morning Chat Series. Until next time, happy people, you take care and have a great day. Bye.